Check. What up, Panthers Nation? It's Aaron Duncan here, bringing you another video brought to you by Necessary Bluntness. Y'all know I start every video by saying, what up, though? And here I am on the road. Yes, I'm on the road. This is a training camp recap video. Day one. It feels so good to be in Spartanburg. It was hot. I finally stopped sweating. And I got to give you guys a recap of practice because there's a ton of stuff going on. But if it's your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I'm bringing these updates. I'm at training camp these first couple of days, giving y'all the updates about the quarterback competition, about the guard offensive line competition, about how receivers are doing, the corner, all the stuff that we talked about leading up to this. I'm giving you the recap and information and updates on those. Subscribe, bell icon, notifications. That way you don't miss anything. All right, let's get into it. I got a few things on. One thing that came out early that surprised me, we already knew about Shaq Thompson being on a PUP list, physically unable to participate list. A surprise addition was J.C. Horn. Apparently, J.C. Horn still has some soreness. They didn't really specify if it was his foot or not. I'm pretty sure it was at the conditioning test. The conditioning test, the first day they came in, which was Monday, Tuesday. They had the conditioning test. He had some soreness. I don't know. We know these foot situations can be a little bit touch and go. We saw what happened with Greg Olsen. When you put those screws in there, it could be whatever. We saw JC training a lot this offseason. He looked fine. So maybe this extra stress from the conditioning test is a little bit too much. The soreness was a response to that. Sometimes, Ron Rivera used to always talk about see how guys feel the day after. It's not necessarily how they feel in the act of it when they're practicing. It's that day after. And we see here there was some soreness. So they held him back. Matt Rhule didn't want to seem overstressed. Then again, this is Matt Rhule. He could be throwing a smoke screen because it kind of came out of nowhere. We got a notification probably like 5 minutes before they blew the horn for practice when I was on the field, seeing that J.C. Horn wasn't going to be there. He was on the PUP list. So we'll see how they go. They're going to play it by ear. Obviously, don't rush this guy back. First round draft pick. So I understand that. But that allowed an opportunity for guys like C.J. Henderson to step up into their starting lineup. C.J. Henderson was actually the guy that was the next man up. You know, in my previous video, I talked about the 5 training camp battles and who would be that cornerback 3. We talked about C.J. versus Keith Taylor. C.J. got the first nod. I think, like I said, I've been rooting for C.J., and it seems like the coaching staff wants to give C.J. every opportunity to take that spot and be that guy. It may have to be the next man up to be cornerback 2. However, Keith Taylor had a beautiful interception today. I posted it on Twitter. It went viral, obviously, because people want to slander Baker Mayfield. The Browns fans chimed in or whatever. I'll put the video up. But obviously, Keith Taylor, 6'3" receiver. You underthrow a ball like that, he's going to go up and get it. He out-snagged Rashard Higgins. So, Keith Kirkwood, not Higgins. I don't want to put Higgins under the bus. It was Kirkwood. Kirkwood got up. Just Keith Taylor's 6'3", 6'4". He's going to make those plays. Baker Mayfield has some rust underthrowing that ball. And just to kind of parlay off of that, that's pretty much the story today. A lot of people are talking about, he just had surgery, his shoulder's hurting and stuff like that. But, it kind of, what do you want to do? It's his first day out in practice. He's literally been a Panther for like a week, dog. Because that wasn't, I don't question his arm strength because there's previous plays that I don't think I recorded it, that he overthrew a couple guys. I remember there was a 7-on-7 drill with Brandon Zylstra. But Brandon Zylstra was at least 7 yards behind the defense. Baker overthrew him by about 8 to 10 yards. So the arm strength is not a question. That was about 50, 55 yards downfield probably where he overthrew Zylstra. So I'm not questioning his arm strength. It's clearly rust because most of his throws were overthrows. That one was an underthrow in 7-on-7. It's the first day of practice. I'm not really concerned. But the first team reps for the quarterback position did go to Sam Darnold. Now, that's kind of expected. Like I said, Baker's been here for a week. They just put in the install yesterday. This is the same install of plays that Sam Darnold's probably had a leg up on because he went through the spring with Ben McAdoo. He's been in the playbook all summer, stuff like that. So it makes sense. Matt Rhule, after practice, said that he expected day 1, Sam Darnold to get the 1s, Baker with the 2s. Switch it up the next day. Baker tomorrow will be with the 1s. Sam will be at the 2s. I will be bringing you updates. I don't want it to seem like I'm throwing Baker under the bus, and that's what the internet ran with. But the internet, when stuff goes viral, you really can't control how people interpreted it. I just presented it out there. It's whatever. Obviously, I know how I feel about Baker. I would love for him to take this job by the horns. I'm going to give him time. I'm not really tripping on this. I don't think you should. You can feel how you want to feel, fan how you want to fan. I'm not tripping on the first day of Baker Mayfield underthrowing or underthrow. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you concerned about Baker being a little bit off target on some of these deep passes with our offense? But nevertheless, to go down to the rest of the position, P.J. Walker, Matt Corral, they had the 3rd and 4th team reps. Corral was 4th. he was very aggressive. I tweeted out saying that Matt Corral was probably the most aggressive quarterback in the 7-on-7 drills. A lot of other receivers were taking the dinks and the dunks, the 5-yard hitches to the tight ends. The receivers were taking some short passes, throwing a lot of checkdowns, being very safe. Matt Rhule chalked it up to the defense playing a lot of softer coverage, so the underneath stuff is what was actually available. So you like to see the quarterbacks take what the defense is giving you, but Matt Corral was being very aggressive. But I want to say one thing about Matt Corral, because the tight end position, we talked about Ian Thomas, Tommy Tremble, Sullivan's there. A guy that you shouldn't sleep on is Josh Babicz, if that's how you pronounce it. Babicz. I think it was undrafted free agent out of North Dakota State, 6'6", 240 pounds. Pretty good athletically. He was 4.87, I think, in the 40-yard dash where he tested. He got a lot of work from Matt Corral. You would think him and Matt Corral were like best friends or roommates or something, the way they kept hooking up passes on each other, with each other. But Babicz, he looked pretty good catching out routes, catching some other out routes. He could be a decent red zone target because Ian Thomas, he had some opportunities today in the red zone, dropped the pass. I like Sam Darnold coming back to him 2 plays later, hitting him. Tommy Tremble got today, outside of the checkdowns to running backs, I would probably say the tight ends got about 70% of the targets, which is a drastic turnaround from what we saw from Joe Brady's offense. Probably a welcome sight for you guys, but we were in a lot of 2 tight end sets, even in 7-on-7. I don't know if we were just keeping it vanilla, keeping it basic. It was day 1 install, probably. But there was a lot of 2 tight end sets running different route combinations and stuff like that. It was a beautiful sight to see, and I like using that tight end because, like I said, this is something that we didn't really do last year at all. So actually seeing that our tight end position has a pulse and actually can play football and do stuff besides blocking is a great thing. But like I said, they got most of the work. Wide receiver wise, wasn't really too much to harp about like that. But the one highlight of the day for me, after practice, I got my DJ Moore jersey signed. Yes, I got my DJ Moore jersey signed. It's beautiful, guys. DJ Moore is one of my favorite receivers on the team. I got it signed. Not only did he do that, me and my boy Rashad for Panthers Nation podcast, DJ came up to both of us after when he was signing our jerseys, saying that he recognized us from YouTube. That's crazy to know that the players actually pay attention. He claimed that it was his brother that was the one that showed him the videos of us. However, come on, guys, let's be for real. I got the clip right here.
Y'all the motherfuckers that be talking on YouTube talking shit.
Me? Who? Not me.
Two, nah.
No, come on, bro.
Hey!
You up, bro?
You my guy.
Bro.
Hey!
How you know who's on YouTube? You be watching us though, man?
My brother watch
It
it.
be
For
gang.
real?
Oh, okay.
We be hyping you up, bro.
One more, DJ?
Check out
I don't worry
RZB
about
Sports. You'll find me.
I don't worry about what nobody say.
Nah,
I
we
be
got
under
you.
the
Yeah,
radar.
don't worry
Nah,
about
we got
all
you.
We
that.
trying to get that press for you, man. They didn't know what you about, man. We know you be chilling. That's why we doing the work for you.
That is crazy, bro. Hey, DJ.
I heard one more fantasy football without some money. You know what I'm saying?
But as you can see, man, it was a crazy moment for me. One of my favorite players, probably my favorite player on the offense. Tied between him and CMC. Nevertheless, he recognized your boy. So I was speechless. But I was talking to him, man. He was just like, man, he was just kind of joking around. And DJ's cool. I don't know if he do the Michael side because we don't really see DJ that outspoken talking trash like that, messing around. But it was funny to really chop it up with him, man. And it was cool. It was cool for me. So big up to DJ for that. If he's watching, shout out to DJ on that one. Nevertheless, defensive wise, defense looked pretty solid. I talked about Keith Taylor. He looked very smooth. I got an up close look at him during the autographs. This dude has some size, bro. Like the length, you can see why he was able to go up. And sometimes the ball skills and the transition from last year in his back pedal was a little bit of a question mark. He has improved a lot, and he's not going to go out quietly in the night when it comes to this cornerback position competition, bro. Like, I'm rooting for CJ and all, but this dude, Keith, not just that pick, but he was balling, man. He was competing. He's balling. He's a big body. We know the Bucs added Julio Jones along with Mike Evans. We need size at that cornerback position that can run. A guy like that, that's how you match up with guys in your division. So, shout out to Keith Taylor on his big ups there. Didn't get much to see about the O-line. They're always in the far corner, not to mention they were in shirts and draws today, no really pads or anything like that. Nothing of note to talk about with that. They did do some inside running drills, and it seemed like Cade Mays pretty much fell on the ground at least 3 or 4 times. I don't know if he was just getting a little bit too rough, off balance, but Cade Mays, our draft pick out of Tennessee, he was on the ground a lot. But not too much to say about the offensive line. Like I said, until we get pads on, maybe that'll be Friday. We'll see. At least probably be shoulder pads, nevertheless. But I was very satisfied and happy to be back out there in Spartanburg, watching the guys, watching everybody being out there, just makes me get even more excited about this. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you are feeling about any of the stuff I talked about in this video. If you want to see these up-to-date clips that I post from practice all the time, make sure you go to Twitter and follow me on Twitter at Dunk On Demand, DUNCONDEMAND, Dunk On Demand. I'm posting the clips as they come, and I'll probably put a little extra stuff for y'all on the channel also, include them in the video when I can. But if you want to get the real-time updates, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because clearly I'm getting some stuff that's going viral, and it's getting out of hand, because these Cleveland fans, they're following, they're watching us close, they hating on us because of week 1, but also hating on Baker Mayfield. So it's crazy. Some of this stuff takes on a life of its own. Nevertheless, you guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button if you have not. I'll see you in the next video. See you tomorrow. Peace.